very satisfying for you.
Very satisfying, yeah.
Well, now we move on to Don Revie, whose club, of course, Leeds United, won the First Division Championship, record number of points, also another record in the First Division, lost only 2 games in doing so. And Don, you have been named Manager of the Year, and a special award for you tonight to recognise that. Don Revie, Manager of the Year. Actually, Don, I'm told Les Cocky, your trainer here, spends more time keeping your back straight for golf than he does looking after the team. Is that right, Les?
No, I wouldn't agree with that at all, David. No.
Or is it Jack's neck?
Well, your first comment wasn't very nice. Do you want me to lose my job?
Anyway, well done. You're well on the way to another this time. You did the right position.
Well, we're in there knocking at the door, David, and they're very consistent, the boys, and we hope that we can just catch Everton or, well, the 16. There's Manchester City and Chelsea and Everton and Liverpool and ourselves, but it's going to be very tight at the finish.
Anyway, congratulations, Don.
Thank you.
On a wonderful season. Thank you very much. Well, now, of course, another winning British side in form during the past season was the Scottish side Celtic, who got a remarkable treble. The FA Cup, the League Championship, and the Scottish League Cup.
All taking this. It's a good one. There's McNeil. Murdoch's up there. Wallace, a goal. Here's Chalmers. He's not offside. A great chance. Here's Auld. It's a goal. Goal by Auld, following up beautifully. Celtic 2, Hibs nothing. Johnson with it is a good one. Lennox has scored.
Well, still with football, we move now on to the Home International Championship, which again underlined the strength of football in these islands and produced some memorable goals. First, Ron Davis, the Welsh centre-forward.
Absolutely superb, and I'm not surprised that Tommy Lawrence was caught there. Wyn Davis. Ron Davis is up there. It should be a corner. Oh, out hit the post and went in, and the goal scored by Ron Davis. Rodrigues. Oh, Ron Davis beat them.
Well, next, Bobby Charlton's goal for England against Wales.
Lee. Charlton to Lee. Charlton. That's it! Beautifully set up, and that really is one for the Wembley scrapbook.
Then that fine cross by Scotland's Eddie Gray for Colin Steen to score for Scotland.
Gray. Good piece of football by Gray, wasn't it? Steen, what a beauty! That was a real collector's piece.
And finally, England's 4 goals at Wembley against Scotland.
Newton. Good running there by Peters. Beautiful running. And that's it. And Peters once more has scored an important goal for England. Charlton. Hurst and Lee running up front, that's Lee. Oh, and the defender exposed himself then. Hurst, number 2. The defence in tatters. Oh, he's got the room. Peters, is it a penalty? Yes. So it's going to be Jeff Hurst with the penalty. With the penalty he scored against Northern Ireland last week, he put it to the goalkeeper's right. And does so again. The goalkeeper went the wrong way, actually, slightly. Peters. Well laid back and beautifully taken. Superbly taken by Martin Peters, who just used the side of his foot.
Splendid goals, all of them there. But there's still one name that recurs all the time when people talk about football in this country, and that, of course, is the name of George Best of Manchester United, who joins us now to watch the best of 1969.
To Morgan. Best, a great goal! 20 minutes of the second half gone, and look at Best. Fantastic ball control this man has. Now Burns. Best. Kid Best. He's hit the post. Dennis Howell. Best. Law Best. Law. Oh, it's nearly the goal. Morgan. Best. That's it. This is Best. Styles. Trying to work a position. Best. Yes, it's there.
George, when you watch yourself, I wonder how much you surprise yourself.
Well, all them were a long time ago. I'm not scoring so many now.
I know you started the season pretty well, though.
Well, I didn't start too well. After about 4 or 5 weeks, I managed to score a few goals. I think I've forgotten again how to score.
Is this something to do with tighter defensive systems, closer marking?
Not really. You have spells when they go in, and you just got to keep playing and hope that they start going in the back of the net again.
George, when you watched that goal you scored against Inter Milan and you pulled it back and went over to your left, were you surprised at the tangle you were in and how much cover there was there?
Well, I made a mistake, first of all. I should have hit it the first time, and I thought I'd lost it. Actually, it was against Rapid, I think, Rapid Vienna. And I thought I'd lost it, and luckily it broke for me, so I just turned and hit it and hoped for the best.
This skill is purely instinctive. Have you always had it, even as a boy?
Well, since I was very young, I've always been able to control the ball quite easily. I never had to practice. It came naturally. So I was lucky, really. I didn't have to work hard at it.
Now, looking back on the year, it's been a good year for you in terms of development, but there must be 2 disappointments. Northern Ireland failing to qualify for the World Cup, but Sir Matt Busby's partial retirement.
Well, Ireland first. I thought we had a great chance of going to Mexico. I think the turning point was the game against Russia in Belfast. We had enough chances to win it, but we didn't take them. And of course, it's sad to see the boss gone. Well, actually, we see more of him now that he's supposed to have retired. A great person, but he's still there. He goes to more football matches now than I think he ever did.
Good, George. Well, we look forward to a good year from you next year, even though you won't be at the World Cup. Thank you very much for joining us tonight.
Thank you.
Well, now, these 2 trophies here, the Ryder Cup and the trophy for the Open Championship, represent a season in which we saw British players producing some of the greatest golf ever seen in this country. The Ryder Cup, now we shared that with America after an absolutely unforgettable competition, and the Open Championship was won at Royal Lytham in St Anne's in July, remember, by Tony Jacklin.
All week, Jacklin had played well. He came to the final round 2 shots clear by playing excitingly accurate golf like this.
Beautiful shot.
Even when he got himself into trouble, Jacklin usually seemed to have the answer.
It's a beautiful shot.
He's flopped it out nicely. It's rolling up. Oh, its beauty. It's gone about a yard past. A beautiful shot.
Jacklin could well look pleased. The Open was there for the taking if he could only keep his nerve at the final hole. It all depended on this drive.
Oh, what a corker. My word, that was a fine drive. Look at it, miles up the middle. Oh, what a tremendous drive. One of the finest I've ever seen in my life. Follow it through with it beautifully. Should be straight. Oh, look at that one. What a heroic finish this is. What a beauty. So a new star rises. And millions of people will never forget this seat. Jacklin has 3 more to win. Oh, it may drop in here. And there is the shortest shot that ever won a championship. And Jacklin is the winner. There's his ball to the crowd. Finest day for British golf since Henry Cotton beat the whole US Ryder Cup team at Carnoustie 32 years ago.
Tony, what does it feel like to walk to the 18th tee knowing that the Open Championship is within your grasp?
Well, apart from the natural nervousness, Harry, I wasn't really thinking that the Open Championship was in my grasp. I was concentrating so hard on the fact that I had to play the 18th hole and just trying to do everything slowly, and because I knew that the first thing one does when one gets nervous is to start to rush. And I just tried to do everything slowly and check everything doubly and try not to do anything silly and just keep playing the way I was playing.
You're having a bit of a rest now. You're taking it easy until Christmas?
Yeah, I've been trying. I've been doing a bit of shooting and stuff.
What are your plans for the new year?
I go out to America again in January, on January the 3rd, and the whole routine starts over again. Playing America for the majority of the year, really, about 6 or 7 months, with breaks in between for rest periods at home.
When do you come back to this country?
I come back here for the Open, all being well, in July, first thing.
How old is the baby now?
4 weeks.
4 weeks? You're working on his swing?
Yeah, his swing's pretty good, but his putting's not too good, too good yet. I'm a bit worried about it.
Thanks very much, Tony.
Okay.
Well, Tony Jacklin's year, of course, was far from over. He still had a vital part to play in the most astonishing Ryder Cup for many years. It's come to be regarded as an American monopoly, but as the final day began at Royal Birkdale, Britain and America were all square. Every British player, young and old, strove desperately for points. The amazing Christy O'Connor, 44 years old, in his 8th Ryder Cup, shatters Frank Beard.
Right in for O'Connor, win for O'Connor, 5 and 4.
Bernard Gallagher, Britain's youngest ever at 20, stays calm and hammers Lee Trevino.
And there it is. What a wonderful putt.
Neil Coles, in his 5th Ryder Cup, slams the shot of the week, a 4-wood to the 17th.
Looked good when it started, and it is good when it finishes. Look at that. Look at that, will you? A tremendous shot. Nobody who's seen it will ever forget it.
Now the climax, all on the last 2 matches, and Jacklin is 1 down to Nicholas. At the 17th, Jacklin has a 45-foot putt to stay alive.
Tony Jacklin putting for 3 on the 17th, and if ever he needed a putt to go in the hole, it's this one. And it is, it's in! It's in! Well, what a thing to do at a time like this. And what a lot now rests on this, the outcome of this putt from Jack Nicklaus. No, it's a stray. And Tony Jacklin has won this hole with a 3, and the match now is all square.
Brian Huggett heard that cheer for Jacklin, and he thinks Jacklin's won. As he putts at the 18th, Huggett mistakenly believes, I've got this for the Ryder Cup.
He's got it. Well, he's every right to do that. Now, I don't wonder. Phew, he says. Isn't that wonderful? And so that's all square. And Huggett overcome.
But 1 hole to play, and it's Jacklin versus Nicholas for the Ryder Cup.
That's a very fine, aggressive drive by Jacklin. Nicholas now. And he stood on his toes and gave that a bit extra for luck. That's fine for Nicholas. Right, Nicholas first. But we can. They're equidistant from the hole. You couldn't ask for more than this. So just the 2 of them, they've got a putt each to come. And these putts will decide the entire Ryder Cup match of 1969. British Jacklin. Nicholas has this long one to win the Ryder Cup for his side. Oh, he's gone a long way past. The awful thought that by missing this one, he might go into history as losing the Ryder Cup. Well done indeed. There won't be a single man here who wanted him to miss that. And it's a half. They halve the hole, they halve their match, and the two countries halve the Ryder Cup.
Well, we're delighted to have the British Ryder Cup team with us tonight. Brian Huggett, I bet that putt on the 18th looked a bit shorter tonight than it did at the time.
Looked about half the length, Harry. You know, when I was lining it up, and it took quite a time as well.
Just tell us what you believed at the time when you were going to take that putt.
I heard a great big roar from the 17th, and the last I'd heard that Tony was one up, so I naturally thought he'd won. And then I had this, I don't know, about 5-foot putt. I thought to win the Ryder Cup, and I managed to get it in, and really, it was only short-lived because when I went off the green, Eric told me that Tony was all square.
Well, it was a long time since Eric Brown had anybody cry on his shoulder. Peter Townsend, just back from America. Welcome back.
Thank you. It's nice to be home.
Congratulations. You won the Venezuela Open.
Yeah, well, I managed to win a tournament at last. So
Form came good, huh?
Over a year since I won, so it's pleasing.
Was the putting earlier in the year a principal problem?
Well, I still haven't solved it, I'm afraid, Harry. I haven't really been putting very well even the last few months. My golf to the greens got a lot better, though.
Just before you came back, you played in the two tournaments that Arnold Palmer won, didn't you?
Yeah, I played a practice round with him in Hawaii, and there's nothing wrong with his putting there, and his golf was very good to the green, too.
Mm-hmm.
And I just had a feeling he might win soon.
You reckon he's going to be a bit of a danger to everybody next year?
Well, I don't know about next year. The course he won on originally, the first tournament, Hilton Head, was a good golf course for Arnold Palmer. It was just the toughest golf course I've ever seen, so tight. And I think because he drove the ball better than anybody else, he won the golf tournament.
Tony Jacklin, the 18th seems to be becoming a commonplace thing for you. Here you were with Nicholas on the 18th. Everything depended on it. What was going on in the pair of you?
Well, you don't expect an experience like, you know, when the Open had finished, I never expected anything quite the same to happen quite so soon. But actually, on the 18th at Birkdale in the Ryder Cup, coming off the tee, Nicholas said to me, "Are you nervous?" And I said, I'm petrified. And he says, "Well, if it's any consolation to you, I'm just as nervous as you are." And that, I must say, eased the situation slightly, and we came through with at least a half anyway.
And Eric Brown, captain of the Ryder Cup team. Congratulations, incidentally, Eric, on being elected captain of the PGA.
Thank you very much, Harry.
I know why they've done it.
Well,
they want to keep you quiet.
I think there's an ulterior motive, actually.
It's a marvellous way. I mean, you've had a great golf career yourself, but it must have been a wonderful thing to cap it with this tremendous performance in the Ryder Cup.
Well, I had a wonderful team. They made it very easy for me. Of course, I've never liked the Americans on the golf course very much, and to have such a bunch of good fighting lads as I had under my command, I couldn't have wished for better.
Would you come down a couple of steps with me, because we've got a bit of a surprise for you. The British Ryder Cup team has in fact won the BBC Sports Unit's award for the outstanding team of 1969. And here to present the award is Dennis Howell, Minister for Sport.
Thank you very much. And the biggest score. Congratulations to all. Thank you very much.
Well, still to come, of course, the award to the outstanding personality from overseas and the climax of the review, the presentation to the sports personality of 1969. But continuing now our story of the year, in racing it was a memorable one for British bloodstock, with all 5 classic races staying at home, as well, of course, naturally, as a great year for Lester Piggott, who earned over £500,000 for his patrons all over the world and won his 2nd Laurel Park International in succession. Looking back now over the racing year is Julian Wilson.
The Grand National, and a field of 30 for the world's greatest steeplechase, climaxing one of the worst winters in living memory.
The white flag up, they're under starters' orders, and they're away.
But today the going was fast and the pace strong. By second Beechers, there were still 18 horses in the race. Up front it was the outsider Steel Bridge from Kilburn and Highland Wedding going best of all. But Coleman falls, and so does the second grey, Tam Kiss. By the last fence, Highland Wedding had it sewn up at his third attempt, and from then on, his lead increased with every stride from Steel Bridge.
Coming up towards the line, Eddie Hardy looking over his shoulder. He sees he's got it sewn up, and Highland Wedding striding away. He's going to win the 1969 National from Steel Bridge and Rondetto. And at the line, Highland Wedding is the winner.
At 12, one of the oldest national winners, and a thirst for jockey Eddie Hardy. But it was Persian War who clinched his title as Jumping's Horse of the Year, winning his second champion hurdle and showing immense courage in a grueling finish on heavy ground.
The champion asserting his authority now. Persian War going away from Drummond-Hill as they race up towards the line and getting a terrific cheer. The champion is going to win it for the second year in succession. And at the line, Persian War is the winner of the champion hurdle.
And this despite a training setback just 3 weeks before Cheltenham. Who can remember a tougher champion? Derby Day and a field of 26 tightly bunched at Tattenham Corner. Amongst them, the youngest and lightest jockey in the field, Ernie Johnson, riding the well-fancied Blakeney.
It's Moon Mountain in the lead from Shoemaker. Blakeney making ground on the inner now, very fast. And it's Moon Mountain on the inside. Shoemaker, Blakeney on the far side, and Prince Regent coming with a tremendous run towards the stand side. But as they race up towards the line, it's Blakeney who's going on from Shoemaker. Prince Regent still coming there fast and coming up towards the line. It's Blakeney from Shoemaker and Prince Regent and Moon Mountain. Blakeney the winner.
So a win for 20-year-old Ernie Johnson in his first derby. But soon it was Lester Piggott's turn, a dramatic last-to-first win on Park Top in the King George at Ascot.
It's Coolroy in the lead from Speed Cymbeline. Then comes Timmy, My Boy, and Crozier. Then Hogarth towards the outside. Swire is coming there. And towards the outside, Chicago coming there. They're coming up towards the furlong pole now, and Park Top beginning a run on the rails. Crozier in the centre, and Hogarth for Italy on the near side, and it's Park Top on the far side who bursts through to take it up. It's Park Top from Crozier. Hogarth for Italy in third as they race up towards the line. It's Lester Piggott on Park Top from Crozier and Hogarth running up towards the line. It's Park Top from Hogarth and Crozier, and at the line, Park Top is the winner. Crozier is second, Hogarth is third.
And later, Park Top was voted Flat Racing's Horse of the Year. But before that, she became Britain's big hope to win Europe's top prize, the Prix de l'Arc de Triomphe, at Longchamp in October.
Park Top is making ground in the centre of the course, and Prince Regent is making ground in the centre too, and coming right now on top of the leaders as Levmoss for Ireland hits the front over on the far side, being pressed by Chaparral and Grandier. Then comes Prince Regent, Remand for England towards the near side, and then Blakeney, but it's Levmoss for Ireland in the lead, and Park Top coming with a great run towards the stand side, but it's Levmoss for Ireland from Park Top for England on the near side. It's Park Top coming to challenge Levmoss as they right up towards the line. It's Levmoss from Park Top, and it's Levmoss the winner. Park Top is second.
In a great season, it was Lester Piggott's bitterest blow, a race that he felt Park Top should have won with any luck in running. But at Laurel Park on Carabas, Lester had the last laugh, poised here to repeat his win with Sir Ivor 12 months ago. Just over 2 furlongs left to run, and it's Tsar Alexander being challenged on the outside by Hawaii. But here comes Lester Piggott on the rails on Carabas. Carabas forging through the gap now as they race for home, just over a furlong left. And it's Carabas from Tsar Alexander second. Hawaii making up ground on the outside, but Lester Piggott's going to win it again. It's going to be his second laurel at the line. It's Carabas for Britain, winning from Hawaii second, Tsar Alexander third. A great climax to a sensational year of over 200 wins in 7 countries. And a 7th title for champion jockey Lester Piggott.
Well, the subject we turn to now is cricket, and sitting here on the front row of the stalls down here, some very distinguished members of that profession. Tony Lewis, captain of Glamorgan, the county champions rather. Or was it Wales who won the championship this year?
Well, I don't know, Frank. The Valleys are still singing there, you know. It's the first time for 21 years we've won it. It's a great experience, great feeling.
They're still celebrating down there, are they?
Oh, of course. Right through to next year till we lose our first match, I expect.
How many dinners have you had on the strength of it?
Well, it seems to be nightly. I know my wife made the crack the other night that every time my daughter drops a spoon on the table, I stand up and speak for 15 minutes.
And alongside here, 2 England captains, Ray Illingworth, who this year has captained England unbeaten in 6 test matches, and Colin Cowdrey, of course, who was injured at the beginning of the season and took virtually no part in the season at all. The pair of you sitting here, deciding who might do it next year.
We've had a spin a coin up for it. I won the toss.
Colin?
Yes, well, I look forward to getting a start again in the new year. Thank you.
Ray, you've had a very odd year, really, a very honoured one, getting the captaincy of England, but you've left Yorkshire for Leicestershire. Has that all worked out okay?
Yes, I've enjoyed it very much with Leicester. We've got a good team, a happy team, and we've had a good secretary and a good committee behind us. It's been a very happy year.
They haven't withdrawn your passport in Yorkshire, have they, or anything like that?
Not yet, no.
How are relations back there? Do you go back often? They're quite happy to see you play for Leicester.
I still live in Yorkshire now.
Colin Cowley, what about your leg now, the Achilles tendon?
Oh, it's mended now, and I go to West Indies in January to start again.
Well, wish you the very best of luck. Thank you very much indeed for being with us here tonight. Well, actually, let's look at some cricket now, because 1969 was a year of cricket revolution, because bouncing into the Test and Championship arena came the new County League, played on Sundays and attracting the biggest crowds since just after the war, many of them seeing and enjoying cricket for the very first time. And it was really ironic that in one of those early County League games, tragedy befell Colin Cowdrey. Within a day, Colin Cowdrey had suffered a ruptured Achilles tendon, and Colin Milburn the much greater tragedy of an eye lost in a motor accident. Cowdrey was out all season, but Ray Illingworth celebrated his England captaincy with a maiden Test 100.
Yes, he's going to take it, and Kamar throws and misses, so Illingworth has got his first Test 100.
Illingworth's leadership took England through 6 unbeaten Test matches against New Zealand and the West Indies, for whom Gary Sobers had an indifferent and unlucky season with the bat.
And this was understanding going to be run out. Sobers run out. Going for a possible leg by, sent back by Charlie Davis, and that's the biggest blow that could befall in the West Indies.
In another Test innings, Sobers fell victim to the astonishing slip-catching of Phil Sharp of Yorkshire, who this summer pressed his claim to be the finest close fielder in the world.
He's out, caught, and it's a fine catch by Sharp at slip.
What a magnificent catch. That's one of the greatest catches I've ever seen.
In the second Test at Lord's, another Yorkshireman, John Hampshire, scored a maiden century in his first innings for England. When he came in, his side were 61 for 5 and in danger of following on. After a quiet start, Hampshire put together a really lovely innings.
And there it is. Great moment. The crowd rising to this young man.
If John Hampshire remembers the summer of '69, so will the Kent bowler Derek Underwood, who went on taking wickets.
He's caught off bat and pad by Hampshire, an absolute gully catch.
100 wickets for the 6th time, and Underwood is still only 24.
And asking and given, just touching the glove rather than the bat.
So England won the Test rubber against the West Indies, whose star players seemed slightly faded. And while the tourists produced nothing new, England did. Alan Ward, the latest in a long line of really fast bowlers from Derbyshire.
He's out. Oh, what a fine catch by Barry Knight.
Ward played against the New Zealanders, and England won that series as well.
Let's bowl him, keeping a little bit low.
Batsman of the year was John Edrich of Surrey, who seems to have discovered the secret of eternal consistency. In John Arlett's words, he batted with the steadiness of a long-distance train, scoring 8 centuries in the season and 300 runs more than anyone else. While Yorkshire salvaged the Gillette Cup from an otherwise miserable season and Lancashire took the first County League title, Glamorgan won the County Championship. They finished at a gallop which included several memorable victories, notably one over Essex. After 3 days of stimulating cricket by both sides, the issue was settled by the very last ball of the match.
1 run's a tie, 2, Essex win. And that's gone to Ozzie Wheatley, and if they run this second... He's out! Glamorgan have won! A wonderful throw by Wheatley, and the crowd are going mad. What a finish!
The breaking voice of Wilf Wooler, who captained Glamorgan to their only other championship success in '48. Glamorgan clinched this year's title the following week at Sophia Gardens, and most of Wales was there. It was a huge Celtic occasion, a national triumph. Well, with cricket being played in the best summer sunshine we've had for years, that same warm weather also seemed to draw something very special out of our tennis players. And before we pick out for you the highlights of a great Wimbledon, let's remember the unexpected entertainment which the Davis Cup provided throughout the summer. It really was marvellous.
It's out!
In Graham Stillwell, Britain found a Davis Cup competitor who played consistently to the very limits of his talent, and sometimes it seemed even beyond it. In every round, he was the spearhead and inspiration of the whole team, and disposed of a series of top-class opponents.